Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at the picture for today, the 16th of June. It is Monday. We do have a 7-game main slate ahead of us this evening, starting about 25 minutes earlier than normal, which is totally fine with me so that we get the 2 games added onto this slate. Not taking a look at any weather. Definitely a legitimate first look at the pitching options. I will be utilizing DraftKings as that is where majority of my action is. If you do play in FanDuel, I'd cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. Don't have to be as creative. Allows you to get the stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now with all that said and done, here is the weather station as of this morning. See, the timestamp wasn't changed since it's not even 8 a.m. yet on the East Coast. But no real weather to worry about. Some slight winds blowing out, but nothing special. Warm in Sacramento, warm in Tampa Bay. 2 spots that have been great for offense as it is. So, going to be tougher to get to pitching there. Doesn't mean we can't utilize pitching, but it does make it a little tougher. But let's jump into the pitching options that we do have ahead of us this evening. We'll start with the Philadelphia Miami game. Sandy Alcantara coming out off of his best start of the season. Too bad it was against Pittsburgh. Back-to-back starts against Pittsburgh and Colorado. Maybe that's something to get his confidence going. I'm not sure, but 3 of his 4 best starts have come against Pittsburgh and Colorado. He had a decent start against the Mets as well earlier this season. Not sure I can get to Alcantara. Actually, I might have to just because of the slate. But there is a chance that he finds himself on the outside looking in. Game total of 8.5. Philly's just a minus 132 favorite. Which isn't overly strong. K-prop of 4.5 juice on the over. Same K-prop for Abel. But he obviously has the much stronger matchup. His debut was phenomenal. Racked up a ton of fantasy points. Come back down to earth since then. Toronto was a strong start. It's a team that just doesn't strike out a ton. So, that doesn't bother me too much. The Cubs, obviously, an elite offense, 3 solo home runs. That'll happen. Strikeouts came down there. But I do think Abel is definitely in our pool this evening. Colorado, Washington. Palmquist sent down yesterday, called back up right away after they put Freeland on the IL. I did read that last night. Just not somebody we're going to rely on, I don't think. Even in Washington. His K-prop's 3.5 juiced to the over. Irvin's 5.5 juiced under. Game total of 9, but Washington's a minus 205 favorite. It is Irvin that we are going to utilize. 3 earned runs or more in 3 straight starts, not ideal. But he absolutely dominated San Francisco less than a month ago. Was strong against Baltimore in the start before that as well. Dominated in Coors against this Colorado team. Dominated, he has the ability to rack up fantasy points. He also has the ability to struggle a lot. But in this instance, we're picking on Colorado with Jake Irvin. Pretty much just click and go with it at this point against that team. The Angels, Yankees, Clark Schmidt, Jose Soriano. Clark Schmidt, scoreless starts in 2 out of his last 3, one of which came against this Angels squad. Now, the big issue here is pitching at home. He's been much worse from a fantasy point perspective. K numbers take a hit when pitching at home, but surprisingly, he allows fewer home runs. when pitching at home. So, man, I think all it takes is just getting a win or two when he's at home, and it should even out. But it is such a great matchup. On paper, minus 209 favorite. Game total just 8.5. Choose to the over. But Schmidt's K-prop at 6.5, juiced under, but still 6.5, probably at the top, tied with Logan Gilbert and McCullers and Dylan Cease. Multiple guys at 6.5 on this slate. Soriano at 4.5. Don't think I'm going to get there. Even though the Yankees' offense has struggled a little bit recently, and he is coming off of his best performance of the season, he's generally kind of picked on some struggling offenses, so maybe. I don't feel great about him, but he's probably a better GPP play than Alcantara, just because we know that Alcantara's struggled so much in his return from Tommy John that Soriano certainly could be in play. It's not something I'm hoping to be able to play once we get through the entire slate, but definitely in consideration, somebody I want to dig into more as the day goes on. Zach Eflin taking on Tampa Bay. He's had 3 strong starts in a row, keeping the ball in the ballpark, which is huge because he gave up 7 home runs in back-to-back starts, in 2 starts prior to the last 3. But obviously the problem, one of those starts came against the White Sox, one against Seattle, and then Detroit is a pretty solid start. Sitting with a K-prop of 4.5, juice to the under. That's not all that intriguing. Game total in this one, 9. Juiced under, but still a 9 total. He is a slight dog. I'm gonna have to dig into him. Right now I'm thinking I'm probably not gonna play him in this ballpark, but that could change, obviously, as I look into more things throughout the day. Pepiot can give up some home runs. That's a worry, but 20-plus fantasy points in 4 straight starts. I am intrigued enough by him and the fact that Baltimore has struggled a bit. O'Hearn's dealing with an injury as well. I think Causer has been day-to-day again. I think Pepiot could be in play. Obviously, like I mentioned, I don't really like taking pitching in this ballpark, but sometimes we just have to take some chances here. K-prop of 5.5, slight juice to the over. I do think he's probably viable. I think he's more of a reverse splits pitcher, if I remember correctly. Something we look into as the day goes on, of course, but if he's a reverse splits pitcher, he should face a decent amount of left-handed bats. I think the upside is there for him. So he's somebody that's probably in my intriguing list, and I'm hoping to find a way to get him in, but obviously he could find himself on the outside looking in because of this ballpark. Logan Gilbert coming off the IL to make the start. 72 pitches in his last rehab start, so it could be around 90. We've seen him rack up pitch count early, which is frustrating, but prior to exiting in April, I've been throwing the ball extremely well. Now he takes on a Boston squad that just traded away Rafael Devers for whatever reason other than he probably was a cancer. I just said that, but whatever. Gilbert, I think, has got to be in play. I think the matchup has a ton of upside. I did mention his K-prop at 6.5. Giolito's is at 5.5, juice to the under as well. You want somebody that could be a boom bust, that probably Giolito in this spot. Could give up 3 home runs. Could give up none and strike out 6. It's not racking up a ton of strikeouts, so that there is some worry there, but I think there is some strikeout upside. I think I'd play Giolito probably over Eflin. I debate him over Soriano, but I don't think I'm going to get there. He's probably kind of in the Alcantara bucket for me. maybe for slightly different reasons, but still, there is upside there. I just don't know if I want to rely on Lucas Giolito. Lance McCullers taking on the A's. Struggled a bit his last start against the White Sox after 2 strong starts, one of which came against the A's where he struck out 12 in 6 innings. Is giving up runs, but the strikeouts being there is a good thing to see. So I got to be on McCullers. He's tied at the top. K-prop is 6.5. Juice to the under. Stronger juice to the under than the other guys, but as we can see, a minus 157 road favorite, but game total of 10 juiced over. So that's obviously a little bit a worry in this spot. I do like the upside. He's been ridiculous on the road so far, but there's volatility. I think we just want to go there just because the upside. We're playing large field GPPs. We want upside performances. McCullers could certainly provide it. JP Sears, not somebody I'm really considering right now. He's really had a home run issue, giving up 9 of them over his last 5 games. This ballpark, probably not the greatest. He got lit up by this Houston squad already for his worst start of the season. I just don't think I'm going to get there. I shouldn't even say don't think. I just don't really want to find myself getting there at this point. San Diego, LA. Dylan Cease taking on the Dodgers. Just absolutely dominated them his last time out. Even with 5 walks. I didn't realize he walked so many dudes in that start. But he was absolutely dominant. Extra day of rest. I think Dylan Cease is certainly in play again. He's volatile. He's a little more popular in that start than I thought he would be, if I remember correctly. Game total of 9. The Dodgers are minus 157 favorites, but Cease K-prop of, was it 6.5? It is just the under, but still a 6.5 K-prop. Super intriguing for me. Win odds plus 240 is probably a little extreme. Very similar to Giolito, Soriano. Those aren't exactly inviting numbers for us, but he just did it against this team, so could he do it again? He definitely could. Casparius going to follow. This quote down here obviously is not true since he is going to follow Ohtani's open. I haven't heard if Ohtani's just strictly a 1-inning open or what the plans are, but still, Casparius did pretty good work against San Diego the last time out. He's thrown the ball really, really well. He's certainly capable of going short time and racking up fantasy points. We saw it here against Pittsburgh. 3 2/3 picked up the win. 21 fantasy points. I'm just not sure we can get to Casparius unless we find out that Ohtani is just for sure going 1 inning. And I don't think we know that yet. Based on his K number, Ohtani 1.5. I guess that to me thinks that they're looking at just 1 inning, but we will find out more as the day goes on for sure. But there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, it's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.